He was trying to help after flooding damaged a trailer. He was electrocuted in what the coroner calls a very bizarre accident.
It was an unexpected discovery for employees at the Lincoln County Jail, what they say they found hidden in a greeting card.
And just one day after an Eastern Kentucky gun store posted a controversial sign refusing service to Muslims, other stores nearby are protesting that policy.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. He was trying to repair a family's home that was damaged during last week's storms, but investigators say a contractor in Clay County was electrocuted.
The coroner has identified him as Dwayne Brewster. Tonight we're hearing the 911 calls from the homeowner who saw the accident. Phil Pendleton is in Clay County with our top story at 6.
The creek on Bells Fork Road had recently jumped its banks, damaging several homes, including this one that the owner says was knocked off its foundation. Thursday afternoon, she says she called on her friend Dwayne Brewster to help her reset it.
I need an ambulance up here at 10:45.
When things went terribly wrong.
We were underneath my trailer, releveling it, and my friend has got electrocuted.
He's got electrocuted?
Yes.
The coroner says he was told the electrical wiring that goes to the junction box was damaged,
creating a short. They were underneath the mobile home, which was damp. There was mud under there, water underneath. From the storms.
The homeowner told me that Dwayne Brewster was very experienced in doing this kind of work, and she says that he's a friend, but he's also a family member through marriage. She says they're simply devastated by the tragedy. Finley says he's been a coroner or deputy coroner for more than 20 years and never worked a case like this.
There's a lot of safety standards and so on and so forth in place to prevent these type of things.
State police were called to investigate, but they say that it'll probably be ruled an accident.
Why the electric was not disconnected prior to work taking place, I don't know.
The homeowner says Brewster was still breathing in the moments after the incident. He was taken to a Manchester hospital where he was pronounced dead. In Clay County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Brewster's body has been sent to Frankfort for an autopsy.
A strange discovery at the Lincoln County Jail. Jailers say what they thought was just a piece of mail addressed to an inmate turned out to be illegal contraband. Victor Puente is talking to jailers about what they found inside a handcrafted love letter.
Love letters are usually filled with well wishes, happiness, or even regrets. But the Lincoln County jailer says one of his inmates got a love letter filled with Suboxone.
People will go to any length to ensure that they get the drugs that they need.
Jailer Robert Wilson says it's a constant struggle to keep contraband such as this out of the hands of inmates. They've seen people use envelopes.
People will actually take letters apart, put Suboxone strips on them, and then re-glue the letter back together, the envelope.
But last week, a love letter and the hearts covering it were the attempted method of smuggling.
One of my deputies saw the hearts stuck to the inside and thought it looked curious.
Behind two of those hearts, small strips of Suboxone. The drug is intended to help with opiate addiction. The return address on the envelope is a home in Danville. Police went there, but it was vacant. Wilson says they can't charge the inmate the letter was addressed to because they can't prove she knew it was coming.
Complete deniability. Yeah, obviously they knew nothing. That's how it works. Everybody in here is innocent.
He says if they are able to identify where the letter came from, the sender would be charged with promoting contraband, a felony. Wilson said because of this letter, he's changing the way his inmates receive mail. He said from now on, all mail must come in a plain white envelope, and that envelope won't be given to inmates, just the contents, once they've been searched. In Lincoln County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
A corrections emergency response team from Marion County searched the jail after the Suboxone strips were discovered. Jailers say that they only found tobacco.
We are learning more tonight about the victims of a deadly shooting at a Louisiana movie theater. Police have identified the shooter as John Russell Hauser. They say Hauser opened fire in the theater last night, killing 2 people and injuring 9 others. He eventually turned the gun on himself. The victims have been identified as 21-year-old Macy Bro and 33-year-old Jillian Johnson. Right now, investigators don't know what motivated the attacks, but court documents show Hauser's family says he was mentally ill.
We believe in talking to the family, talking to the friends,
trying to look at his writings on the internet and putting some parts and pieces together. Maybe we can try to figure out what caused him to do it.
Investigators say the brand of handgun used in the shootings is hard to trace. The CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley will have the very latest on this investigation at 6:30.
A judge has sentenced 2 people who admitted playing roles in a Madison County murder. Randall Burgess Jr. and Sherry Bratton pled guilty to complicity to commit murder, attempted murder, and burglary. A judge gave each a 5-year sentence with credit for time served. Both Burgess and Bratton have already served 1,000 days, so they'll likely be released from jail soon. Back in 2011, police say the victim, Zach Flower, was shot in a Berea apartment. Matthew Denholm has pled guilty already to murder in his case. His brother, Ryan Denholm, also faces charges. Police need your help finding a woman they say is a person of interest in a theft case on the University of Kentucky campus. UK police released these surveillance pictures of her. They say that she went in the front door of the main building the morning of July 7th, spent time in a couple of offices before leaving in a gray Ford Expedition. And the next day, police say a woman reported more than $10,000 in jewelry had been stolen from her purse in one of those offices. Police say a woman in the other office reported $32 was stolen from her purse.
New tonight, investigators now say human remains found on a Franklin County farm this week were of Native American origin. The Franklin County coroner says the remains date back between 1,000 and 3,000 years. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office has now suspended its investigation now that it's been determined this is not a criminal case. The Franklin County Coroner's Office is now working with historians to bury the remains again. A farm worker found the skeletal remains in a sinkhole at a farm on Jones Lane.
We are learning new details tonight about the man who led police on a chase through 2 counties. Police say that Marion Fisher from Taylor County, he and his car hit several police cruisers during that chase before crashing behind a home on Shawnee Drive in Harrodsburg yesterday. Police say that he had a woman in the car who tried to get out during the chase. Our Monique Blair actually ended up in the middle of the chase with her photographer, and they caught the whole thing on camera. Fisher is now charged with DUI, kidnapping, fleeing and evading, resisting arrest, and wanton endangerment of a police officer. One day after an eastern Kentucky business posted a controversial sign, people in the community are protesting the policy. Jace Firearms in Letcher County put up a sign that said Muslim-free gun store, then removed the message today. Jennifer Palumbo is at the live desk in our newsroom with a story that's new at 6. And Jennifer, how are people showing support for Muslims?
Sam, more than 30 businesses and organizations in Whitesburg are protesting the anti-Muslim message by displaying signs that say this business welcomes everyone and has the hashtag Whitesburg for all. The Whitesburg Police Department and the Center for Rural Strategies are 2 places displaying the sign. People we talked to say they don't want their town to have a reputation as being intolerant.
I think people today wanted to show that this community doesn't feel that way, and this is one bad apple, and we're not that kind of place.
Yesterday, Jace Firearms co-owner Jill Stidham told us her store would no longer welcome Muslim customers because, in her words, Islam is a religion of hate, and they are bringing hate upon our country every day. We tried to ask Jace Firearms owners why they removed the sign, and they had no comment today. The ACLU of Kentucky is also responding to the controversy. It questions whether the store's owners should be federally licensed to sell firearms. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
And Jennifer, we have more on that. The ACLU of Kentucky issued a statement on the controversy. It says in part, although it appears that this is a ploy to attract attention before the store closes, it is nonetheless an unlawful and reprehensible example of religious discrimination.
We are finally getting a normal summer weekend around here. Sunny skies and warmer temperatures with only the small chance of rain.
Sounds great. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys. We've made it to that final weekend of July. Good-looking weather out there, as you mentioned, across the entire region. You know, a lot of the folks are getting outside, doing a little yard work for the first time in a while, and we're actually getting a chance to get out and cut a little hay for the first time in a while. Take a look out back of the station here, and you see the hay bales that are all rolled up there, and we haven't had too many views of this so far this summer because it has just been so darn wet across central and eastern Kentucky. Well, this afternoon it's very nice. Temperatures are into the low 80s across the entire area as of now. Low humidity levels giving another pleasant feel to the air. Defender tracking nothing into central and eastern Kentucky. As a matter of fact, I broadened out the view to show you there's nothing across the entire state of Kentucky. Some clouds and some dwindling showers and storms into parts of Illinois. That is a sign of things to come. Upper level flow coming in from the northwest as we go into early next week could mean some additional rounds of showers and storms between now and then, though, guys. Typical summertime temperatures for the weekend. I'll come back in a few minutes. We'll track your weekend of summertime and also look ahead towards some changes into the next week.
About 100 people rallied on the steps of the state capitol today to protest the possible removal of a controversial statue of a Confederate leader. Jefferson Davis was born in Kentucky and is best known as the only president of the Confederacy. A statue of him sits in the rotunda of the Capitol. Both Republicans and Democrats have raised questions about whether keeping that statue prominently displayed is a good idea. And today, men and women rallied in support of keeping the statue where it stands.
This is where people can come for free and learn the history.
It needs to stay right in there because he was a great Kentuckian. He was a great Kentuckian.
The Historic Properties Commission will take into account all opinions submitted to them during their meeting August 5th. You have until July 29th to submit a written statement. And in Lexington, a meeting has been set to discuss the future of several Civil War statues. Mayor Gray asked the Urban County Council Arts Review Board, to hold a meeting to review the placement and presentation of two statues of Confederate officers and a nearby historical marker in Cheapside Park. And the board is looking for feedback from the community. That meeting will be August 24th at 6 o'clock. Mayor Gray has asked the board to make a recommendation to the City Council in the fall.
The Estill County Circuit Clerk's office is closed today because of a possible bed bug outbreak. Yesterday, we told you that city officials decided to close the Estill County Jail because of bed bugs. An exterminator will inspect the jail and the courthouse on Monday. Court has been rescheduled for next Wednesday.